Okay, I think it's gonna work. Come
Oh,
on.
it says it's now streaming on Facebook.
Does? Okay.
On my side, it says live.
Great. Wonderful.
We made it.
Yay. So wonderful to be here. This is Maya Diamond, the co-founder of Empower Love. And I'm so excited to be here today with Betsy LaFay, this amazing woman who has been through the program and is here to just kind of share about her results and what she got out of it. So welcome, Betsy.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So my first question is, what did your love life look like before you found this program? And what was challenging about it?
Well, I married someone who was on the narcissism scale for sure.
Yeah.
I was in an abusive relationship, an emotional abusive relationship. It did get physical one time.
Mm-hmm.
And before I started the program, I was divorced probably just about 2 years, separated or divorced for about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the last guy that I dated right before the program, when we were going through a breakup, so like the day before we broke up, he told me 7 things that I had been doing wrong or not right. And anyone gives me feedback, like I'm interested in that. And so I was taking it all in and being like, okay, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And then the next day I was like, okay, it takes 2 to tango. Like, what is it that you're bringing to the table? What is it, that you're working on? And he had 0 knowledge of personal responsibility. I was just absolutely shocked. It was like I was speaking a foreign language when I said, okay, I acknowledge that I am doing these things. What's your deal? What are you doing? And then I volunteered certain things, and he completely denied them and got really he pressured me to eat food and drink drinks that I don't normally drink, like for 14 minutes, was like pressuring me, and I caved. And then he was like, I didn't pressure you. And I was like, we had a conversation about these cheap margaritas for 15 minutes. And then he was just like, oh, you have a problem with me taking you out to dinner? Then I just won't go out to dinner with you anymore. And I just, was bawling because I realized that this was a pattern that I was repeating, that I was with someone who not only didn't take personal responsibility, but I was also taking full responsibility. So that's kind of where I was. And that's where I was before I started the program in my love life. But I think I just want to volunteer and say that my primary purpose for joining the program, the way that I saw it, the lens that I saw it, was to rewire my nervous system, and that the dating life would be a measure, it'd be an indicator, it'd be an icing on the cake. So I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, beautiful. And so what had you say yes to this program?
Well, I had discovered anxious attachment. It's interesting because I have a degree in psychology, and when I'm older than I look, just turned 40. And when I was in school, attachment was only taught about children. It wasn't taught in adult relationships.
Yeah.
And so literally 2 days before I came across this program, I had discovered anxious attachment as in adults relationships.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I have. Yeah. And this I tell people the story. I'm like, when it's like you're like hanging out with a girlfriend and you mention like thigh high black boots, and then like that day you're on Facebook and Facebook's like, why don't you buy these thigh high black boots? And you're like, that's totally creepy. Like, are they listening? I was like, this is an instance where I'm so grateful, because I was Googling anxious attachment. Right. And then literally the next day, your funnel came up, your free webinar, your interview.
Wow.
And, the ad copy was like, do you do this? Do you do this? Do you do? I was like, that's me. I
Yeah.
watched the video and you're like, free session. I got a free session the next day.
Yeah.
And that also facilitated me coming out of an emotionally abusive coaching relationship.
Yeah.
Which you know about from being in the program. So I was in another emotionally abusive relationship, a professional one. Someone was coaching me.
Yeah.
I'm also a coach.
Yeah.
But and the free session, actually the coach who was coaching me in your program, the initial session,
Yeah.
she kind of thought there was some weird romantic thing going on with the coach, because the coach that I was having trouble with, I was like, no, there's no, it's just that I see the same abusive patterns.
Yeah.
So that's how I got in. And that's, again, I'm like so happy for algorithms, and whoever you've got on your team,
Yes.
getting me in the funnel, like it's changed my
I
life.
love that story.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all know the boots that come up and we're like, oh, wait,
Like,
I didn't want to buy those boots, but you're like, yes, this is what I need and want.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And so, yeah, what does your love life look like now?
It's interesting. People will ask me, like, how is dating going? And I think in the regular zeitgeist, a typical "it's going well" looks like either I'm solidly dating someone, or I have these dates, or I'm checking people out. And I feel fantastic about my dating life, and I'm not going on that many dates. And I just also want to say, I know that that's very contrary to most of the people I saw in the program. I just want to say, from my experience, it's very atypical results. But the reason why I feel like it's fantastic is because I am confident with the timing of everything. Like I said, I just turned 40. I am super confident in myself. I'm not lonely.
Yeah.
I know that I have this excellent filter. I'm literally am one of the most sensitive people on the planet. So I have to be very protective of who I expose myself to.
Yeah.
And, throughout the program, because I just graduated a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Throughout the program, I was able to express my needs, filter people, see the red flags that I wasn't able to see before, and prevent so many bad relationships that I know that I would have gotten into and probably stayed for I don't know how long.
Right.
But I don't want to stay a week too long when I know that it's not right. And
exactly.
And I've been talking to a guy on the app for a week now, and we have a first date tomorrow. And I've been able to do things. There's 2 wins that I want to share. I think you're going to like hearing this. So the first win is, coming from an emotionally abusive relationship, which I was in for 6 years. I was criticized constantly, body shamed, told that I wasn't curvy, told that I wasn't sexual, told that I wasn't feminine, which I am all 3 very strongly. Okay. But I was literally brainwashed. I was like, well, maybe I'm not sexual. I'm very sexual. Okay.
Totally. It's
so
like gaslighting you.
Yeah, a total gaslighting the whole time. So with this guy online, we're just talking about our days, like, hey, like, how's your week going? He's a professor. I'm making this new video content that I'm extremely excited about. And in one of the video montages, I play my own boyfriend. So I dress up in drag. I have this like mustache and beard. Think Lance from Portlandia, if you've seen that show.
I don't know that one.
And so I was, in the abusive gaslighting relationship. I might have been ignored for a couple of days just with the prospect of putting a mustache on. And even if I were a cross-dresser, that'd be fine. I am not. But this is a creative, fun way to get a message out.
Yeah.
And I had this hesitation from my past programming, but again, because of the program that I was in, because of Empower Love program, I was like, I just feel so passionate about the work that I'm doing and very excited about it. It's funny, it's cute, it gets a message across. Like, I've been really jazzed this week about it. And he was asking me what I was doing. And so I just shared with him. And as I was like typing, I was like, you know what? Like, I know this is the right path for me. Like, I know I'm excited. I know I'm in my zone of genius. And
Yeah.
if he doesn't support that,
Yeah.
then I know that he's not for me.
Yes.
Yeah. But it
Yeah.
was really vulnerable for me to share
Yeah.
given the past.
Yeah.
So, but
Love
here's the thing, like, it was edgy. But then again, I also, because of the program, because of your program, once I sent that message in the dating app, I wasn't obsessed. I wasn't freaking out. I
Yeah.
wasn't always checking the messages. I mean,
Yeah.
this is like brand new to me. Okay. I was able to send it, let it go. He was like, that sounds hilarious and cute and creative and innocent. And then he even texted back later. He's like, I want to explicitly say what I mean about innocent, not in the pure way, but in the childlike way. And he's like,
Oh,
all of those qualities are really attractive to me. And I was like,
love that.
awesome.
Mm,
And then also,
great.
we've been talking for a couple of days, and I see on his profile that the option, I want to have kids, and his option says he doesn't have kids, but he loves them.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I'm like, I
What does
can't
that
meet
mean?
him. Yeah, I can't meet him on Friday if he doesn't want to have kids.
Yeah.
It's on
Yeah.
my list of what
Yeah.
I need to have, right?
Yeah.
So I was very vulnerable for me because everything else seems to be working out great. I'm looking forward to the date. And I'm like,
Yeah.
if he doesn't want to have kids, I'm going to say no to this date tomorrow.
Yes. Yes.
So again, because of the program, I was able to find the appropriate words. It wasn't loaded. I wasn't anxious. I wasn't afraid of being rejected.
Yeah.
I just said, I see in your profile it says this. Does this mean that even if you found the right relationship, that you would not want to have kids of your own? And he just wrote back like a dream response of like, when the stars align and I am through this transition, I will procreate. And I'm just in a little bit of a transition, and I need to get through that first. And I know I'm going to be a great dad, and I'm really popular with kids under 10.
That's a fantastic answer.
Right?
I love that answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was a little afraid of like going there,
Yeah.
but I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to waste an afternoon with
Mm-mm.
someone who doesn't want what I want.
Exactly. And so right, these are I love that you're giving these examples, because these are the examples that show all of the work and growth that you did in the program, and how much more alignment there is in terms of who you're being and who you're attracting. And, yeah, just being your true self and being confident and secure in that. And then you actually then attract your match.
Yes.
So beautiful.
Thanks.
Wonderful. And so, how do you feel about the financial investment? Was it worth it to you to have the results that you've gotten?
Oh my gosh. Okay. First of all, I was shocked at how little it was. I am not kidding you. I think it was Lauren who I was on the first phone call with, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, it's this much. And I was like, it's what? You get what for what? Like, seriously? And I don't know if she's ever had anyone react that way, but I was expecting at least 3 to 4 times more than what you're charging. I think it's a perfect price point. I think you're getting exactly who you're meant to get. The people are amazing. But my life has completely transformed for 39 years, because I graduated the day before I turned 40. Well, basically 40 years. For 40 years, I was walking around with chronic, horrible anxiety and not knowing where it's coming from.
Yeah.
And now I don't have that anymore.
It's huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm seriously going to write an article sometime soon about how being in the wrong relationship cost me $1 million. And that's not even including divorce and what I lost in the divorce. It's not even including any of that.
100%. Yeah.
And this course doesn't cost $1 million. So
Right, exactly. But that's such a great point, which is we all know, it's hard to, society doesn't talk about this enough, in my opinion, which is being in the relationship that isn't right for you. Exactly. It costs you emotional stress, financial stress, psychological stress, spiritual stress, physical stress, like a lot on your physical health. And so, that, right. And so,
or even being single and being anxiously attached,
right.
Totally.
Totally.
It's the same, it's almost the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, just a huge how this has shifted you. And then I'm excited to see exactly in the next year financially all of the shifts that will come from that as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Yeah.
So, And so, what did it cost you both financially and in other ways to be with abusive and, narcissistic men?
Literally over $1 million. So I was making six figures when I was with as I call him, the husband. He was my husband.
Yeah.
We were together for 6 years. It took me 2.5 years to recover. So if you're talking about 125K times 8, there you go.
Yep.
And that's with zero growth. And I know that it would have been not zero growth. Like I'm always growing. So, and that's just one relationship, that's just like the last major relationship.
Yep. A lot. And that was financially. What about emotionally and mentally?
Oh boy. I mean, I completely lost myself. Part of my story is I hold no judgment against people who wear all black clothes. Okay. I lived in New York, for 10 years, and east side of LA, everyone's wearing all black, like no judgment. It's just not for me. Like I've been known as like rainbow bright my whole life. Right. So when I met my husband, I owned zero black clothing. I didn't even own black underwear as a woman, which is like kind of odd. No black socks, no black blazer, nothing.
Yeah.
And by the time I left, my wardrobe was 90% black.
Wow. Wow. That's fascinating.
I gained weight. I was sick. I just completely lost myself, completely isolated from my friends. I had to, we owned a business together, so I had to rebuild that from the ground up. It was absolutely huge. And now people who know me today, when I even mention any one aspect of that relationship, they're like, I can't picture you with anyone that's like that at all. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm back to who I am. And honestly, Maya, like I might be a version of myself that I was before I was raised, right? Because that's where the attachment came from. Exactly.
Yeah. It's huge.
Doesn't make complete logical sense, but I think people understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's and I just want to make a really important point here, which is now the imprint when you have your child, exactly, your attachment imprint that you're going to give them is going to be completely different than the one that you got, which is very abnormal because usually we just pass on the same one over and over again. And so all of the work that you did in the program is then going to transfer literally genealogically through our biology, because attachment is in our nervous system, but also in our genes, I believe. And so it's just so, so powerful, not only for your relationship, not only for your financial health, not only for your physical health, but also for the literally progeny of your future children.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Cool. And it only took 3 to 4 months.
Yes, seriously. Seriously. Yeah, that's why exactly it's an intensive program so that you can get the value in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And so, what would you say to a woman who's interested in the program? Would you recommend it? Why or why not?
Oh my gosh. Well, I've been recommending it to so many people. It's kind of like one of those things. I love this phrase the dentists say, like, only floss the teeth you want to keep. You know,
Such a good line.
it's like, okay, well, only join the program if you want to have healthy children. Like, if you don't want to have children, or you're past the age, or you have children, like, only join if you want to, become healthy and happy.
And get to give that model for your children of a healthy
Exactly. Yeah,
relationship.
if there are, it's never too late whatsoever. I mean, my mom's 70 and she's changing and it's influencing me. It's amazing. She
Yeah,
went to her first protest. She's 73 just
that's
yesterday.
awesome.
Um,
Great.
so yeah, I mean, if you want to get what you want,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I think it is an intensive program. I think that
Mhm.
there is no time like the present to do this. I mean, again, like, I am like 100% like know in my bones everything you said, financially, health wise, relationship wise. Like, what else is there?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, oh, I don't have time because I'm working on X project. Well, if you're working on X project, then if you were actually secure, X project would be exponentially better, easier, more
Yeah.
productive, getting more back from it. So um, it's just, I can't think of anything more important.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, why should women do this program now versus wait or allow their reasons to stop them?
Um, I think the only reason why someone would stop and not do it is for fear. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna botch it a little bit, but the Marianne Williamson quote, "It's not our darkness, it's our light that we're most afraid of," right?
Yeah.
It's we're
Yeah.
actually that we're powerful beyond measure.
Yeah.
The studies where they take a child, a baby who's been abused by their mother, and they try to take the baby away from the mother, and the baby would prefer to be with the abuser than with anyone else. Like,
Yep.
it
100%.
is it is taking that leap, but
Right. What we're familiar with, it's very easy to stay in what we're familiar with, which is why we have these patterns in relationship over and over again. Right.
right.
And so by doing this program, you actually create a new template, a whole new way of being, which allows you to step into this whole new type of relationship.
Right. And it's honestly like not scary I mean, I just felt completely held, again, from the very first person who picked up the phone
Yeah.
to you, to my other coach. I mean, you have access to the Facebook group all the time. Most of the time, if I was like texting a guy, I would screenshot it, put it in the group, and sometimes within 40 minutes,
Yeah.
my coach would get back to me and I'd be like, okay, cool. And I'd continue texting the guy.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
like, it's very popular now to have like that therapist in your pocket thing. This is basically that,
yeah.
but you have multiple ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Plus all the support of all the other women.
Yes. Yeah. Plus, yeah, hardcore dating advice and coaching, which therapists are not trained to give and are not
Mm-hmm.
and have zero training in dating advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, beautiful. So yeah, it sounds like, yeah, I'm just so, it's such a joy to chat with you and so fun. And just to see all of this from what you've came from and where you are now. And just, you're so good at articulating, what the value you got and, all of the value of the program. And so it's just so fun to chat with you.
Thanks.
And yeah, I'm so excited for you to continue to reap the benefits in this next year. And I look forward to maybe having a second interview at some point
Oh,
as
that'd be
well.
great. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be so
I know when that timing will be. I'm very excited, and honestly, like, this has been completely life changing. Like, I just if there was anything I could wish, it would be that I was taught this in school.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that I
yeah.
wouldn't have to have gone through
20,
all of that
20,
stuff.
30 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That would be amazing.
Yep.
Yep. So, yeah, such a joy and a pleasure. You're such a wonderful, amazing person. And it was such an honor to work with you and so wonderful to talk with you today. Thank you so,
Same
so
honor to be here. Thank you for asking me.
yeah. Cool.